Why are people making negative comments? And it must be hard being an actress with Down syndrome sometimes because of people's perspectives and what they see. So tell me a little bit more about that.
I feel like not a lot of people see me for who I am. They obviously see my stuff and they're like, oh, it's somebody with a disability. They'll go into like really not just mean comments, but nasty comments. I've gotten a few comments where the R word has been thrown around and they're trying to play around with that.
Hey there, it's so good to see you. And if you're listening, we're so glad that you're here. I'm Laura Whitaker, the host of the SEEABILITY watchcast, and we are excited that you are here to see the ability in all. I am here with my good friend Lily Moore. Hey, Lily.
Hi.
The first ever guest on our watchcast. How does it feel?
Feels good. I'm excited.
Yeah, girl. Well, I can't wait to unpack a conversation with you. And we also have another friend with us. Who do we have?
True. We have Seemore with us.
Seemore is over here just chomping on his bone, having a good time. He's excited to hear the conversation about you. Lily, you are an actress and a model. You have your own IMDb account. I'm just honored to be with you here today, but I'm even more honored for whoever's watching or listening to hear your story, to see the abilities that you have to share with the rest of the world. So thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
So there might be a mom out there that just had a daughter with Down syndrome. What do you hope she gets out of today's conversation?
Hopefully she will, be inspired by all of this and maybe, hopefully, would be a new potential ESP family.
That's right. We want to meet them, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
And I just imagine that there's moms out there with children with special needs, all different abilities that will watch this, or be a grandfather or maybe a cousin, and be inspired by you, Lily, and all that you have done in your life. Be inspired to see the abilities inside of themselves, and be inspired to remember that we see their child and see the abilities in their child. So let's unpack a conversation, just starting with you started at ESP over 10 years ago. So walk us through a little bit of your ESP journey.
Yeah. Well, so when I walk through the doors at ESP, there are people for you that are cheering for you and looking at you for the right reasons. Every time I walk through those doors, I feel accepted and included.
That's so powerful. I think really at our core, we all want to be seen.
Yeah.
And seen not necessarily for who we aren't, but seen for who we are. Yeah. And I'm so glad that was your experience here. And I always imagine a world if that happened everywhere you went.
Yeah, for sure.
When you walk into ESP and there are people there for you and you're seen and loved for who you are.
Yeah.
We have this tradition at ESP called Welcome Wagon. So did you experience Welcome Wagon when you first walked into ESP?
I did.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, it was really cool. As soon as I walked in those doors, you have everybody, surrounding you in a very fun way, cheering you on and looking at you and just having a good time together.
Chanting your name.
Yeah.
A place where your name is known.
For sure.
So over the last 10 years, walk us through who you were 10 years ago and who you are today, and maybe how ESP has been a part of that.
I remember, just being there, and just when you're around those people, it's just a really cool atmosphere to be at. And I definitely feel at home with ESP, and
so awesome.
Just being here for over 10 years has been a really fun experience because you get to meet so many cool people along the way.
So you've grown up with ESP. How has ESP helped shape who you are today?
Good question. It has given me the confidence in all situations. No matter, with people around you, it doesn't matter what you can do, but it's not what you can't do.
Yes.
You have a voice, and I feel like that's really important when you're in this kind of situations.
Yeah, confidence, it's an interesting conversation, Lily, because it's confidence. You can have false confidence, right?
Yeah.
You can pretend you are somebody that you're not, and it's not true confidence.
Right.
But true confidence really comes from the abilities that you have inside, like figuring out what are those abilities that I have inside and how can I share them with the world? And Seemore wants to get in on the conversation, and he sees that you have abilities and loves you so much. I love having a dog around here. Instantly, it just makes you smile.
It does.
I love having Seemore here.
Yeah.
For those that don't know you yet, how would you describe yourself in 3 words?
I would say friendly.
I agree with that.
Fun. And adventurous.
Adventurous.
I love trying new things.
What is your greatest adventure that you've ever done?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say one of my favorite things, zip lining in the Dominican Republic.
That's adventurous.
Yeah, that was definitely a
I
fun
bet there's
experience.
a few watchers that have never ziplined before.
Yeah.
Or jumped out of an airplane before.
True.
We do have a fundraiser, jumping out of airplanes. I've had to do it a few times myself.
Yeah.
And you are definitely adventurous. And as we stand on different stages together and public speak, I always feel so much more brave and confident when you're there because of that sense of fun and adventure.
Yeah.
And I'm just so thankful to be able to do that with you. Lily, you've had such a fun career as an actress.
Yeah.
What made you first want to act? Like, what brought you to that?
Yeah, well, when I was 6 years old, I used to live in Austria and Europe for 3 years when I was little. They had, in school, I took a drama class there.
Okay.
Fell in love with it. And then when I got back home from, school, I was, like, a day. I had a whole play memorized. And I was reciting it. And the drama teacher there was like, she has really good personality. And we definitely see big things ahead of her. And so when I got back home, my mom signed me up for acting classes and workshops, and that's kind of where it all clicked for me.
I love that. And I love that. I don't even know if you noticed, but in that part of your story, there was someone who saw the ability in you.
Yeah.
And they spoke that into you.
Yeah.
And I just think, like, how many times have we thought something really great about somebody?
Yeah.
And we just, we think it in our head and we don't say it.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think sometimes we do see the ability in people and we just forget to say it.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for that teacher who said, I see amazing things ahead for her.
Yeah.
You may not have been an actress with your own IMDb account. I mean,
True.
Look at you now.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely been a journey. Not an easy journey.
Right.
A lot of rejection, but obviously there's mean people out there that gonna say all kinds of mean things, but I don't let that get to me anymore. I used to, but now I take those mean comments and mean things, but I turn them into a positive outlook. Just learning, more. It's definitely taught me a lot for sure.
So Lily, you said that sometimes there's negative comments or rude things that people say, and that you take that and you turn it into something good.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about those negative comments. Like, why are people making negative comments? And it must be hard being an actress with Down syndrome sometimes because of people's perspectives and what they see. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah. I feel like not a lot of people see me for who I am. They obviously see my stuff and they're like, oh, it's somebody with a disability. And then their whole perspective changes and they'll go into like really not just mean comments, but nasty comments. I've gotten a few comments where the R word has been thrown around and they're trying to play around with that. But they would also say, oh, her arms are short. Or like some of the features on me, like they would make fun of that. Obviously, are they hurtful? Yeah, they are hurtful. And it would be really nice just for everybody not knowing what I can do, but knowing my craft and what I can do with that. And I feel like that's what I want people to see that and just stop the negativity in all people with disabilities.
We still have a long way to go, don't we, with how people see people, people who are different, whether it's a disability or a different color skin or a different age.
Yeah.
We still have a long way to go, don't we?
For sure.
So when people see you, Lily,
Yeah.
maybe it's on Instagram or maybe it's on a movie on Netflix, when they see you, what do you want them to see?
I want them to see somebody who, not just somebody with a disability, but something more than that. I want the word I want to see them, instead of using the word disability, to change that to somebody, oh, they can do that. I'm like, yeah, they are. Yeah, they look different. And yeah, they might take more time. But let's not use the word disability. And just see who we are for who we truly are.
Who you truly are. See the abilities first.
Yes.
Before they see anything else.
Yeah.
Here at ESP, we talk about people first language.
Right.
And so instead of a girl with Down syndrome that is an actress.
Yeah.
It is Lily.
Yes.
Who's an amazing actress who has so many abilities, like being friendly and adventurous and brave and a great friend. She also has Down syndrome.
Right.
And I imagine a world that uses that people first, that your disability is a part of you. Down syndrome is a part of you.
Right.
But it's not the only part of you.
Exactly.
If you've met one person with Down syndrome, you've only met one person with Down syndrome.
Right.
Because you're all different.
Exactly.
Well, I think this watchcast is going to be a big part of that, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
How do you think your visibility in TV and movies and on Instagram is changing the way that people see people with disabilities?
Well, I'm just a person following my dream.
Just like any other person that wants to follow their dream.
Exactly.
And I think one of the things that you have expressed is that it hasn't always been hard. And I think you give a visual, Lily, into how no matter what, no matter a disability or a hardship in life, you're still somebody that's going after her dream.
Exactly.
So the name SEEABILITY is powerful. How do you think the world changes when they choose to see ability?
Good question. I think it opens up endless possibilities for all people, for what they can do and what they can't not do.
That's right. That's right. And maybe for some, when you choose to see the ability in others, it helps them to better see the abilities in themselves.
True.
What ability do you have that some people might overlook?
I would say determination and patience.
Okay.
Because I know, like, when obviously prepping for whatever, they don't really see the hard work, behind the scenes that you put into it. When it's going over stuff multiple times, making sure it sounds right. I would say that for sure. And with patience, I would say, obviously, when you go somewhere, you need, like, if there's a time you need to be somewhere, and you really need to have that patience to wait and also hear how other people say it as well.
Yeah, you're on sets for hours and hours, aren't you? So you've got to be patient. And that is an ability I don't have, Lily. It's an ability that I really admire about you. And it's one that I want to grow.
Yeah.
It's not one of my abilities right now. And I do think we can grow our abilities, right? We're born with some and we can grow others.
Yeah.
But you definitely have determination. I get to see that when we're on the road speaking, you practicing and working through what you want to say, and then tremendous amount of patience. The other day we were on the road for 4 hours to get to an event. And then what we do that night?
We drove back the same night.
We did. So we were in the car for almost 9 hours, and you were super patient all the way through. Meanwhile, I was working on my computer.
Yeah.
Lily, you were a part of launching the Everyday collection with SEEABILITY. What do you want people to feel when they put on their cozy pink sweatshirt or their t-shirt or they carry around this water bottle?
Yeah.
What do you want them to feel?
I want them to feel happiness and a big hug.
And a big hug. We're all about hugs around here at ESP, aren't we?
We are.
And did you know that you need 8 hugs a day? 8 hugs a day.
Interesting. Yeah.
Do you think most people get 8 hugs a day?
Probably not.
Probably not. Well, I'm going to give you a big hug after this, after we're done.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if you're a mom or a husband or a grandparent or a friend, you need 8 hugs a day just to psychologically survive. And that's like the baseline.
Yeah.
And I love that you want people to feel like they have gotten a hug when they wear our items. We want them to feel celebrated and loved and know that not only does their money go to a great place, but also they're sharing a message with the world. To SEEABILITY.
Yeah.
And they're putting our people to work.
Yeah.
Our joy fillers. And we got to see and experience that, didn't we?
We did. It was a really cool experience to watch.
What did you notice about the joy fillers?
You know, just when they are packaging, you know, these packages, that they're happy doing it. And that they have a fun time. And that when they are doing it, that the people that are receiving these packages from our joy fillers, that they feel gratitude, not just obviously gratitude, but also a sense of feeling at home as well.
I love that. You just received your SEEABILITY box.
I did.
How was it opening up a box of your collection of pieces? How did that feel?
Yeah. I was very excited. You know, as soon as my mom said, Lily, the SEEABILITY package is here. And we were both very excited to, you know, get the package and dive into it. It was really fun just to see what we created.
Yeah. And what are the items you got?
So we got the blue SEEABILITY shirt with the big dog mascot on the back. And then we also got the pink SEEABILITY sweatshirt as well.
I love that pink SEEABILITY sweatshirt.
Yeah.
It is so cute. And I get compliments on it every time I wear it.
Yeah.
And it's a reminder to me to see the abilities in the people that I am interacting with.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's natural to see the abilities in others. We haven't really been trained to do that. And so it takes some work. And
for sure,
the SEEABILITY collection that you helped us launch, Lily, is a great reminder of that.
Yeah.
If Seemore, our mascot, could describe you, what do you think he would say?
That I'm a dog-loving person that gives the best belly rubs around.
I agree with that. And Seemore does love a belly rub.
True.
You're an inspiring voice for this amazing movement. What is one thing you want the world to hear from you right now?
I want people to hear that you are unique, beautiful, and brave, and you have a voice. So don't be afraid to use it for good.
I love it. What is one thing that you have never seen that you wish you could see?
I would like to see maybe a SEEABILITY, maybe star collections.
Ooh.
So maybe like Dolly Parton.
Okay.
Maybe if we got some of them to collab with us, I feel like that could be really fun.
A Dolly Parton collection. I am here for that. Or a star collection, you called it.
Yeah.
I love that. I can only imagine some amazing stars that would join us here at SEEABILITY.
I agree.
Lily, thank you for calming my nerves.
No problem.
For joining Seemore and I for our first ever SEEABILITY watchcast. It's been really fun. I've learned some new things about you today. I know that our viewers and listeners have learned some things from you too. And if you were inspired as much as I was, I hope that you'll take time to like, comment, share, let us know what you enjoyed. We want everyone to be a part of SEEABILITY. And definitely stay tuned. We have some amazing guests coming up on the SEEABILITY Watchcast, so you don't want to miss it. Thank you for joining Lily and I on the SEEABILITY Watchcast, where we envision a world that sees you the way your dog sees you. See you soon.